Get away from me.
What if I told you high school isn't what it seems like? What if I told you it could be some of the worst years of your life? Unfortunately, this is the reality for some of the students in high school. Bullying has a huge impact on their lives. We asked students at Ridgeview to describe to us what their opinion of a bully is. Here is what they said.
A bully is big and strong.
A bully is unnecessary.
A bully is a coward.
A bully is ruthless.
A bully is confused.
A bully is aggressive.
A bully is manipulative.
A bully is destructive.
A bully is scary.
Violent and cruel to everybody else around them.
Bullying has more than one appearance. There is social, verbal, cyber, and physical bullying that can exist in our high schools. Firstly, social might not seem like much at the time, but excluding or isolating someone from your friend group can often make them feel left all alone. Now, cyber and verbal, they go hand in hand. Saying mean or hurtful things either in person or online can bring the victim to the point where he or she actually begins to believe them. Lastly, physical is an obvious form of bullying, and not only will it leave marks on a victim's body, but can also damage them mentally. Now, bullying is extremely common in high school. All students have at some point have experienced being bullied or had experiences being the bully. We need to understand that bullying is much more than just the old school physical bullying. It is in fact something that can appear in many harmful ways. How often do you have to work with students who have suffered from bullying or who are suffering currently from bullying?
Often, actually, more often than I'd like to. We certainly deal with a case of bullying probably on average once a month, sometimes more often depending on how stress is maxing out here in the building.
Right. So what is your official job title?
So I work as an occupational therapist, and I work in outpatient mental health in a hospital setting, which involves working with people who have mental health problems, of which bullying can be part of the issue.
What can be some of the short-term and long-term effects of bullying?
The short-term effects tends to be that the person being bullied has a tremendous fear inside them and anxiety as a result of what's going on. And you may see them withdrawing, especially if they're in school age, that they withdraw socially from their peers. They may withdraw in the classroom if they were a good student. That may not be happening anymore. The teacher may view that they're withdrawn in the class, not performing the way that they used to, underperforming. In terms of a long-term effect, what you often see is depression, anxiety. The fear accentuates, the person becomes hypersensitive to stimulation around them.
As you have just heard, bullying is a serious matter that should be put to an end at all costs. Now, we're going to show you a video from a boy named Alex who was bullied throughout his school life. This shows the first-hand effects of bullying.
My name is Alexander Jacob Jane Hopkins. I am 12 going on 13. I go to East Middle School. I feel kind of nervous going back to school because there's new people and there's going to be new things, and I have trouble with making friends, so people think that I'm different. I'm not normal. They punch me in the jaw. They strangle me. They take things from me. They knock things out of my hand. They sit on me. they pushed me so far that I want to become the bully.
Don't just walk away. Speak up. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. You can help. A bully only needs to be confronted once before he decides to stop bullying. We asked Ms. Laddister, the vice principal of Richard Collegiate, on her opinion about how to stop bullying.
How can bullying be limited or prevented?
I think those who get bullied, if they speak up, we've seen that is one of the best ways of helping prevent it or to keep it from growing. And certainly bystanders play a crucial role. If bystanders let us know that they are observing bullying, or if they stand up to the bullier in support of the person being bullied, that usually quashes any further bullying.
The biggest thing is when the bullying is also being observed by other people and the people around the person that's being bullied and the person that's bullying are keeping quiet and silent about it. I think that factor keeps things going.
But as we all know, there is a lot more to bullying than just the victim's perspective.
One of the areas that is more recently being looked at is dealing with the actual bully. So often there has been emphasis on the person that's been bullied, but it's the bully that sometimes we need to look at, because when a child is bullying, often that indicates that there's something deeper going on inside them. It could be that they're struggling with family problems, with their own mental health issues, and they don't know how to express that. And the way they express it is by being angry, and the anger gets expressed in bullying.
We understand, as part of the student population, that you have seen this message many times.
And also, we might sound like a broken record, but the issue is not fully resolved yet.
Lastly, we want to share with you a short story that was told to us during one of our interviews.
The one thing I'd like to say to everyone is to share a story that a client told me, and this would be about 30 years ago that I was working with this individual. He was someone that came from a family where there was an awful lot of abuse and neglect, and he was thrown out of his home at age 12 and was a street child from age 12 onwards, and he remained that way up until around age 32. And he was definitely bullied at school, in work settings, by his family. So this is probably the most severe form of bullying that I've ever seen. He did a lot of work on himself in counseling, and at the end, I was pregnant during the time that he was seeing me with my first child. And he looked at me, and his words were, "If there's anything that you can do, Astrid, for that child of yours, is love that child to death. Love is the one thing that'll get that child through life." And I always remember that, because I think that is what's really important. When we see a child or an adult who's really struggling, they need attention, they need love, and that's what's going to pull them through. And that love can be shown through talking with that person, with a friend. So it can be the love of that friend, it can be a teacher who shows care, it can be a parent, it can be so many different people. But his words, they still stay with me. It was love that he felt would have gotten him through a lot faster than he did. And it was love for him in the end, because he ended up finding a woman who loved him totally, and that's what healed him in the end and helped his recovery, helped him go back to work, helped him find a place, and to live a life the way